Yes, I have smoked crack cocaine.
When,
But
sir?
no, do I? Am I an addict? No.
When have you?
Have I tried it? Probably in one of my drunken stupors, probably approximately about a year ago.
Excuse me, guys.
Holy Christ! Oh, and the last thing was Olivia Gondak. It says that I wanted to eat her Olivia Gondak. I've never said that in my life to her. I would never do that. I'm happily married. I've got more than enough to eat at home. Thank you
Was
very
there
much.
anything that
It got worse. He went after a councilwoman at a meeting because someone was heckling his brother. He was in a drunken state where he couldn't throw a football and he keeled over in front of all the cameras. I can go on and on. But the point is, Rob Ford, why he and other lawmakers a little bit less egregious than him, why are they the last to know that it's time to go? You've seen other guys, and this isn't a Republican or a Democrat thing. Unfortunately, it knows no party boundaries. Why are the ones the most clueless about this, where everybody knows this is going to end badly? They hang on until either the legislature pushes them out or whatever else. Their families dragged through the mud.
This is a guess. That you become elected and no one thinks you can get elected, and you begin to think you can overcome what everyone else thinks you can't. The other is that he doesn't have a wife who doesn't pull him aside and says, sweetie, you need to get out of here, and if you're not getting out of here, I'm getting out of here. He needs some friends around him who just put their arm around him and say, get out.
I think a lot of officials have gotten through so many scrapes in the past. So many, I think a lot of people have seen moments where, oh boy, this could be it. This could be the whole career. I mean, a lot of other people in other fields too.
I mean,
but you start to think, well, if I can get out of that net, I can get out of this one too. And you don't think of the negative. You think about, well, if I say this or I do this or I get this support, then maybe I've got enough to stay on.
And let me let you add to that. If you do get out of it, then people forget. I mean, people have forgotten what Bill Clinton did with an intern.
But he is probably one of the only exceptions. I mean, you covered Elliot Spitzer when this went down.
But this guy is no Elliot Spitzer.
No,
this guy is a buffoon. This guy is a clown.
Right, but I know here at this point, this guy obviously only cared and cares about himself right now. But if you think about it, he's made Toronto a punchline. Fourth biggest city in North America, by the way. I don't think everyone realizes that. Wow. He's thrown it into chaos because basically they've defunded and stripped him of his authority, but he's still there and he pledges to stay on until it's over. How do you manage a municipality with this amount of chaos? He's dragging his family through the mud and all this. You've seen other guys go through these scandals, and they think that they can hang on, but it doesn't work that way. I'm just always shocked that they're the last to know.
Well, and they do think, and I know from the inside, many of these guys that go through this, I'm invincible. I can survive this. That's what Spitzer thought. And Spitzer almost made a comeback, I mean, a few years later. But this guy in Toronto, he reminds me of that actor. What's it?
The late Chris Farley.
Right. I mean,
we were going to use a Tommy Boy clip, for those who remember the movie.
But this guy is real life, and and I guess he's hanging on to negotiate a deal, sort of like the mayor of San Diego did.
But
sometimes that
there's
plays
no
a role.
criminal exposure for him here. He just wanted to try and keep his job. Filner knew that was the one chip he had to play, so he didn't go to jail. He didn't face some more, civil exposure. So, all right. Now, this next one doesn't have to do with criminality, but it certainly raises eyebrows as to, have we come to this? This is the Cheney family feud. Here's what you need to know. Liz Cheney, daughter of the former vice president, she's running for the U.S. Senate as a super conservative from Wyoming, challenging a fellow Wyoming Republican in the primary. Mary Cheney, the other Cheney daughter, is an out and a married lesbian who lives with her wife in Virginia. And Sunday, Liz, she was on Fox and she said the following.
I love Mary very much. I love her family very much. This is just an issue on which we disagree.
The issue that they disagree was that she didn't think that her sister should be able to legally be married here with all the rights and benefits that are attached to marriage. Mary and her wife, well, they were watching that program on Sunday. Apparently, they didn't know what was coming out of her sister's mouth. So naturally, they didn't like it, and they decided to turn to social media, Facebook specifically. This is what Mary had to write regarding her sister. Quote, This isn't just an issue on which we disagree. You're, meaning her sister, just wrong and on the wrong side of history. Mary's wife, Heather Poe, she went arguably even further, posting on Facebook, essentially calling her sister-in-law a hypocrite. Quote, when Mary and I got married in 2012, she, Liz, didn't hesitate to tell us how happy she was for us. Now, even the parents, Dick Cheney, who's on your screen there, they got involved. Dick and Lynn Cheney, who support marriage equality, say the public spats pain them, but they also said they support Liz's stance against same-sex marriage while supporting their other daughter's marriage as well. Talk about being in an impossible situation. Yet, to me, this is about political calculation. She knew the question she was going to be asked when she went on the program. She knew the answers she was going to do. And forget ethically that it's your sister, which is more important than a seat in Congress. To say that and not to have worked out with your family what the reaction is going to be, come on.
She's challenging a Republican incumbent who will win if he gets the nomination again. I mean, and she has to be even more conservative than he is, and he's really conservative. So,
but again, it comes down to the same question as the last one did on a different issue. At what price? Your own flesh and blood?
At the price of hurting her relationship with her own sister. That's sad.
She knew that that question was going to come on Fox because there had been an interest group that had put a pressure ad on her and basically Liz Cheney, and basically given her grief for appearing on MSNBC and basically supporting the right of her sister while not supporting marriage equality, all told. So she was being attacked on the issue, and she knew she was going to get the question when she went on Fox.
But the shocking thing to me is
you didn't call your sister?
If you're gonna do what you do, first of all, I think voters always get shortchanged in terms of, we underestimate the intelligence of the electorate. If she said, "Listen, I respect if some of you disagree with me, but if you knew my sister, you wouldn't. And I stand by my sister's right to same-sex marriage. And I didn't feel that way until I saw it through the eyes of my sister." If she said that, she wouldn't lose a vote. I bet
yes,
she
would in Wyoming.
Yeah, she would. She wouldn't get the nomination.
Right.
You're right.
It'd be over.
She might at least keep a little dignity. But
she'd have a dignity.
But what about these
but she wouldn't go to the
calculations?
Senate.
Are you surprised when the calculations are this callous?
I'm not surprised. I don't mean to be the cynic at the table, but I wonder if this was partially staged.
I'm almost beginning to wonder that too.
I'm there too.
And the reason being, if I'm the sister that's married and offended at the comment, do you really take the Facebook first, or do you call your sister first?
Yeah, very
Well,
interesting.
if her sister went on national TV, why exactly do you need to go through the proper channels?
And
her sister just slammed her on national TV, so I got no problem with her going to Facebook. The whole thing's a mess.
No, but maybe she wanted her sister. I'm kind of agreeing with it. And when you
guys
went
are
over
bad.
what Dick Cheney said, or the Cheneys said, they basically agreed with both.
Right.
I agree with Liz, but I love, so.
Right.
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
So the bottom line is
Mr. Cheney.
we're all cynical in this room.
Yes, we're all cynical.
Apparently, me
Because
not as much as the three of you.
I think he's more cynical than I am, but anyway.
Maybe you're all three in a certain league here. But anyway, we're going to be talking, and we'll talk later on in the program. This Friday is the 50th anniversary, a very sad day in American history. Yes. But and the question I've talked to all the people that appear on the program is, do you remember where you were? And I'd like that answer.
You weren't even born. You weren't even born, and you weren't even born.
Okay, but before you answer that question, President Kennedy had a profound impact on you.
Oh, absolutely.
Tell how.
8th grade, my parents bought a new TV set. My brothers were out of the house. We watched all the debates. I was a Nixon guy, but I loved what Jack Kennedy said. We're going to have this Peace Corps, and you can be in another country, eat their food, live and speak their language, and let them get a feeling for America at the same time. I couldn't wait to be in the Peace Corps.
And you did.
I got in the Peace Corps.
Do you remember where you were when President Kennedy was shot?
I thought you were going to ask where I was in the Peace Corps. I remember that.
Fiji, not a bad assignment.
I was walking down the hall of my school. I was in 10th grade, and someone came out and said, the president's been killed. One or two people were in the hallway. They were crying. I went to one of my teachers to kind of get sympathy, and he kind of said, toughen up, kid. But it was a horrible day. It was a horrible week, and and history's so different because of it.
And we're going to be talking about just that this Friday. RFL will dedicate the entire hour to JFK and the 50 years since that terrible day after a bullet in Dallas took the president from us, but also Not just why he means so much to many, but just as the congressman said, how history might have been so different had he lived, and also in the tumultuous months that followed his death. We're going to be talking about that at 6 o'clock Friday night here on RFL. All right, when we come back, we turn to the present day. Born to Run, Chris Christie's favorite Springsteen song, taking on a different shine as Christie steps back into the spotlight again. He's really a shrinking wallflower here, and he takes swipes not just at Democrats, but at Republicans as well. But the real surprise may be what he said about the president. We're going to have more on that as RFL continues after this.